Just want to relax in a nice lukewarm bath.
What about this?
I don't think that can hurt us anymore.
Hi, this is Julia Child with a tip on making cup Suzette, that marvelous flaming dessert that you do at the table. You need a nice flaming setup. I've got a heat source there. There's an attractive pan. And in the pan, I have a mixture of sugar, butter, orange juice, and grated orange peel. And I'm taking this prep, and I'm bathing it in this mixture using a fork. I'm going to do that quite neatly. A little bit of time. Talk about art and politics. I like to use a no-stick pan and heat it until water.
Well, good morning, everybody. All hell broke loose last night during reassembly of this MP-1 resto. It was one of those. There's this old movie in the 80s with Tom Hanks called Money Pit, where they were buying a fixer-upper house, and the more they tried to fix, the more broke. And that's sort of the moral of the story with these. You know, it takes a lot of effort to keep these guys up and running, or to restore them, rather. And it requires having donor units on hand. It's sad. It's sad. Because these have a sound that hasn't been duplicated since, and they're wonderful. So I need to do a little bit of cleaning, but let me just give you the run through about what happened. So let me move on over, zoom out. This is what they refer to as the old top switcher, where you can change the line level. That's this guy right here. And the other models, these are on the rear panel. So, all right, we're moving up to what's kind of referred to as the output or MIDI board. And what happened was, as I was doing a repair on the line N, so during reassembly, the headphone jack crumbled. So using my donor parts, I was able to remove this one and install it on this one. So it's now functional. And the same thing with this jack here. But that's just what happens. I mean, when you're working on these, when you're maintaining these, finger tight. Do not use tools to tighten these. Just use your finger. Just snug it up with your thumb and forefinger, and that's it. Because when these break, you're going to be out of luck. So especially for someone who wants original parts. And that's what we're looking at here. Kind of sad. But that's where we are. So this is ready to go home. I'm going to button her up. She's ready to roll. And I'll show you a little trick. It's not a trick. It's just if you've done enough of these, you kind of know what I'm about to show you already. Or if you fool with old rack gear in general. Sometimes you get lucky. And I like to do a bit of a physical restoration as well. Here's the upper panel. Let's see if I could zoom out a bit. That's it. Here's the upper panel. Just typical rack rash, right? Well, I'm not going to have this re-anodized. I'll just flip it over. This is just dust. I'll just flip it over. And sometimes you get lucky and the punch outs will remain oriented in a right direction. So what's the top will become the bottom since both panels are identical. And let's check out the bottom. This was the bottom. Equally nasty. Look at that. Let's flip her over, see if we're able to do the same trick. And we are. It's perfect. Perfect condition. This will become the top. So, we're in business. I hope this finds you guys well out there. If I'd like to go deeper into a restoration, and I have, I've gone too deep on these at great risk, then the next thing that I would address would be the actual tube PCB. These cheapy Lelon caps, they're still good to go. At least in circuit. These are your main filters for the plate supply of these preamp tubes. It's not the low voltage stuff on the on the east side of the board, as the crow flies. We got another one tucked in down here. If you're going to replace these, you need to make sure that it's no more than this length or height in orientation or in dimensions, because it's right up against the main PCB. This one here is critical from a size perspective. And in any larger with respect to diameter, you're going to be shoving other components to the side, so that's not good. One more look at the input buffer here. And the jack that I physically disassembled and then reassembled, and I got this thing to work. There's no other option for an input jack at the moment due to the revision of this particular board. It would require way too much on my end, and it would grossly overshoot the client's budget by a large margin. But was successfully able to turn this into a functional piece again. It doesn't have a secure click as the tip locks into that detent in the input jack itself, or rather the plug itself. But it holds it firmly, and you could pull on it, wiggle it about, and it remains rock solid. So that's as good as this one's going to get today. And my vendor over in Europe, Marshall JMP, over at the ADA depot, he's been out of these for a long time. They're not coming back. So this is essentially life support for these old guys. You know, but they deserve to live. Keep these guys up and running. They sound wonderful. All right. You guys take care. Bye-bye. All right, buddy, there's a lot of overdrive on this sucker. So there's some hiss, but it's not a lot. Most importantly, there's no background buzz anymore. Here's my guitar rolling up. That's only my guitar, and I'll move it around. See that? It's a noisy room. Guitar's off. No noise. Watch this. That's my guitar about 50% down. There's a little bit of reverb coming from that little battery-powered Roland back there. Beautiful though. Got all of our factory presets back. Little push clean sound. Kind of cool. Love it. That rolling back there is terrible for any sort of overdrive because of those little aluminum dust caps or dust covers, whatever you call those things, but makes it super zingy. No background noise. I love it. Which one's that? I have a very... Hear that noise? That's my volume pod. I need to clean into my guitar. Guitars get neglected now. Anyway, there you have it, buddy. Ready to roll.